Can you explain the difference between a real shepherd, a pastor, versus a hireling?
In John 10, Jesus gave us a little bit about what kind of shepherd he was. You know,
Yes.
the thief comes in, but not to steal, kill, and destroy, but I am come that they might have life and might have it more abundantly. The hireling flees when he sees danger.
Yes.
Now, there was a pastor that in the Loma Linda area, and a friend of mine talked to him about, but you got to feed the sheep. And he told him, he said, it's not my job to feed the sheep, it's my job to pet the sheep. Yeah, but they're dying of hunger. Well, I'll keep petting them. So when you feed a sheep, you have to give them real food, spiritual food, which will prepare them to be saved. Petting a sheep is just a job of a hireling, just to keep the sheep comfortable while he dies of starvation. And I think definitely a hireling is more interested in his own skin and his own privileges. He's not going to give his life for the sheep. If he sees a wolf coming, he goes, I might get hurt. And he runs away, and he leaves the sheep to get devoured by the wolf, or whatever the danger is. Whereas the true shepherd gives his life and risks himself. But I told the Lord, you can protect me. I believe there's angels surrounding me, and we need to risk ourselves in order to be able to help others. If we don't risk ourselves to help others, then why would anybody risk themselves to help me? And so I made that decision. I don't have to think about it as a pilot. As a pilot, I already know what to do. I've been flying for about almost 50 years, and I know what to do in an emergency. In a given emergency, I already know I've decided what I'm going to do. I don't have to say, now what do I have to do? Let me think. No, I already have like a 10 commandments of what I'm going to do. And one of those things is if I see somebody getting hurt, I'm not going to think of myself. I'm going to intervene to help. If God wants me to get killed, that's not my problem. That's God's problem. Because one of my angels can freeze all of them, like he froze over 20 gang members. I was surrounded and he froze them, and the angel pulled me out of there. But if he wants to freeze the gang members, I can still help that person. And if God allows me to be injured, that's his problem. So the same thing applies to sheep today. If we're going to feed the sheep, I got to be willing to risk my reputation, my assets, my job, but I have to do what the chief shepherd said. Feed my sheep. He expects me to protect my sheep. He expects me to risk myself when a wolf comes. So if a false shepherd is there because of a job and because of the pay, he's a hireling. If he's not willing to lose his job to protect his sheep, he's a hireling.
Yeah.
Because hirelings are only there for a job. But if you're willing to risk yourself in order to provide for your sheep, then I think that is following the orders of the true shepherd. And today we have too many hirelings that'll run when in danger.